Hey everybody, welcome to Pure Snowrunner. Welcome back if you're a repeat offender. If you watched the previous episode, let's go to the Lodestar. I did actually take the, I had a Lodestar here. I put it back down in the quarry. Hooked back up to that trailer. Off camera, you guys didn't want to see that. The one it takes a couple minutes to drive back down there. But on today's mission, I have to get myself to the warehouse. Or garage, sorry. There we go. Nope, wrong garage. I want the... What happened to that one? Oh, did I leave it up at that house? Up here. I'm going to leave that up there. We're going to grab another truck out of the garage. I hope I don't have to do anything with this one. I just have to deliver this, but I don't want to have to... Where's the garage? There we go. Actually, you know what? We're going to use this. Because if I have to, repair it, I want to be able to repair it with some points. So we're going to use the old BM17 again. We have to drive... I know where I'm going, but we have to drive down into the flooded fields over here. So we'll basically just go the same way I just went with that Lodestar. Down through here, across the thing, turn left. Up through here, drive down across the field, grab this thing. And then we're going to drag it down along the beach over to here. It's a pretty straightforward mission. I just don't know if I have to repair it. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like the last one I got screwed on. Because I didn't have enough repair points. So, bear with me. And again, if you look in the upper left, it's the Royal BM17 JBE edition. It has the big fatty tires on it and all that stuff. And it's a decent vehicle, don't get me wrong. I just like the little Vorons, they're a little bit smaller. You could easily make a fleet of these things. Easily, you know. I think this truck is actually a little bit more expensive if you were to buy it from the thing. Don't quote me on it because I'm not sure on that, but it might be a little bit more pricey as opposed to the Voron. I mean, it's got decent gauges and stuff. I do love the interior of some of these vehicles. I think it's pretty old school, nostalgic. Metal dashboards and stuff, you know, as opposed to now everything's all plastic. It looks more military grade when it's metal. You know, not the most pleasant if you get into a car accident with it. But again, the vehicles are all metal, so they can take a hit, as opposed to nowadays with these cars that we have in trucks made of aluminum. You know, they crinkle like an old beer can. Doesn't take much of an accident to total out a vehicle anymore. Which again is it's a whole circle, right? So like if the vehicle gets totaled out, you got to make an insurance claim. And now, because you're making multiple claims, your insurance goes up. Well, then your premiums go up because insurance companies don't like to pay money out. They like to take it in. They just don't. It's like Uncle Sam. They like to take your money for taxes, but they don't like to give your money back. It always takes so long to get your money back out of it. But this is why insurance costs so much on vehicles. For everybody. It went up. Everything went up. Medical insurance is crazy. Your premiums. It's insane. Everything is expensive. I guess it's called life, but damn. Yeah, it's a beast of a truck for sure. I've used it on a few missions. I used it on the one a couple ago. Exploration gone wrong or whatever it was. But did I even get a picture on that one? Now that I say that, I should take a look here. Looks like I, yeah, I believe I did. Looks like I did. Looking back on my PC. I've recorded a few. We're still on the same day, if you're curious. It's still the 28th of June. I'm just knocking a few of these out. Still waiting on the lawn. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'm waiting on the lawn to dry out a little bit. I don't like mowing wet grass. The dew, you know, all that. And we've had rain. We've had so much rain around here lately. So if I wait till around lunchtime, or just after lunch, it still won't be too bad, temperature-wise. Yeah, we can go this way. I guess it doesn't really matter. It won't be bad temperature-wise, and so I don't think it's supposed to be hot, hot, hot today. And that'll give a little bit more time for the grass to dry out. Alright, left turn, Clyde. And again, it's a decent truck. I just like the size, I guess, of the Voron as opposed to. I mean, this would be a good heavy hauler, I guess, if you wanted to make this your saddle high truck. For hauling the big stuff like the huge trailers, the big tankers, the half a building, the oil rigs and stuff like that. But I guess I've always, you know, even in IRL, I've always been a fan of the mid-size pickups, like the Tacomas and the Rangers and the S10s and, you know, them kind of vehicles. Like the Chevy Colorado or GMC Canyon. I like those trucks, as opposed to the full size 2500 Chevys or 1500 Chevys. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're nice vehicles, but I just always like the mid-size trucks. I consider them mid-size. They're definitely not compacts. I mean, compacts would be like the Ford Courier. That people don't know who that is, look it up. It's a little Chevy love truck. Those were compact pickups. Even like some of the two-wheel drive Toyota pickups. I think Dodge even had a couple small ones. I forget what they were called. But yeah, those were dinky trucks. We're gonna go across the mud flats here. Gotta break down a fence because I have to. This is where my thumbnail is going to come into play because I'll be deep in water here. So bear with me on that. But yeah, those little trucks were okay, but for where I live, we get snow. You know, and them little trucks are only two-wheel drive. They ain't worth a shit in the snow. When the roads are icy and snow covered and whatever, it's not practical. So I just don't see any purpose. I mean, you live in California, it's one thing, but you live here trying to get things done with a. I want that truck. It's pulling. It's pulling. Of course, I get a fucking bale of hay or a brown bale. I grew up farming back in the day. So. Oh, he's driving a little bit. Oh, what is this? This is a Western Star, I want to say. It's kind of like, do you remember back in Michigan when we had to pull that orange and white one out? I believe it's the same one. It looks like it's the same truck that you had to pull up out of that hill. We'll go a little bit further. I do want to get a decent picture, but I want to get it to where that's a little better. I want it so you can see it. Do you remember that? I forget what it was called. It was a mission. You had to go down and pull a truck like this. It was orange and white, and you got to keep it when you were done. I'm trying to find my little icon. Here we go. It was a pain in the butt mission for some. Back when I first started playing this game, it was. But now it's better. Oh, well, the grass is a little tall, ain't it? Just to grab another picture. That'll work. New. Didn't want that one. That'll work. Alright, so saving the farmer's machinery. Couldn't make a shorter title. Jesus. Write a book. Save. Alright, yeah. So, off we go. Yeah, I don't want to go back to that career choice. I chose once I got out of school, and I was already in the workforce, but at a younger age, but once I moved away, I vowed never to work on a farm again. Kudos 100% to those that do. But this guy doesn't want to do that anymore. So I won't. It is hard work, to say the least. Anybody who says farming isn't hard work has never done it. And it's a great learning experience. I mean, it's good money if you want to earn it for like summer, baling hay or whatever. Almost any farmer would be happy with some help. Just even, general stuff, cleaning the pens for the calves and just maintenance, little things, fixing machinery, put new blades on this and new things on this, and just general repairs. Nothing you need to be, experienced welder or whatever to do. But hey, way brighter, much nicer. I'm just debating on that picture that I took. If I should get one that actually has where you can actually see shit. That one was still pretty dark, to be fair. You know what? I gotta do it. I gotta take a better picture. This is much brighter this way. I just gotta find the damn icon again. Here we go. Sorry to be a pain in the ass here. Like, Jesus, just take the picture already. Kind of like your one aunt that's wanting to take pictures of the family, and they're like, everybody gather around. Shut up, just take the damn picture. Saving the machinery. Number 2. Actually, it's 3. I only saved the 1, so it makes it 2. Let's go. But yeah, there's a rock there. Yeah, I vowed not to do that. And again, kudos to the ones that do, because we do need you in the dairy. I mean, we need our milk, we need our crops, we need all of that stuff. Wheat and corn and everything. Nobody wanted to do anymore. I mean, I guess cash crops is different than dairy farming. You know, you're planting crops and hoping you get a good yield, as opposed to feeding cows. And then you got your beef farms, or they just raise cattle for slaughter, as opposed to a dairy farm that raises their cows to produce milk, and chickens for eggs and all that stuff, you know? It's just one thing I never wanted to do as far as when I got older. I'm like, I'm going to find a different job. I'm going to have weekends off. I'm going to, there's no clocking out when you work on a farm, when you own a farm. Your job is a 24/7 job. You know, you don't just get to shut off at 3 in the afternoon. It's like, I'm done for the day. No, it doesn't work that way. Because at any time, anything can happen. Your cows could get out. Uh, Cows are breeding, so you got calves you got to worry about. You got, it's all little things. And again, thank you for those that are doing the dirty work for the rest of us. I'm not a huge milk drinker, but I do like cheese. I don't even know how many missions I did today, now that I say that. I'm going to go back to my videos here and take a look. 7. This is the 7th one. That's pretty good. 7 videos, that's 2 weeks. Again, at 2 videos per week. And I don't like to store too many on my PC, especially if they're longer missions. These have been relatively short, but I don't want to store too many on my PC. I have to do some upgrading on my computer. I don't know a lot about computers, just FYI. So I would never claim to be a computer genius of any kind. The inner workings of a computer are Greek. That's a different language for me. And I'm trying to get Windows 11 on my PC, because apparently Windows 10 is going to be unsupported after October or something like that of this year. But it's telling me that my PC is not able to do Windows 10 or Windows 11 for some reason. So I need to upgrade something or change something or whatever. I gotta call my buddy who built my computer and see what he can do. I'm sure it's gonna cost me money, unfortunately. So. We'll see. Alright, so we're almost here. Do we need to fix it? That's my question. Or can I just drop it off? Just drop it off. Even better. Stop the engine. Ooh, a logging one. We're not doing logging trucks, are we? Are we doing logging? Oh, but I do all the tasks. That means I gotta do a logging mission. Grr. I don't like to do the logging ones until the end. But this is a task, so it has to get done. What else do we have? Oversized cargo. I'm just kind of getting an idea what the next possible missions we could do. Oh, that one's a short one. If I had a vehicle over here, which I do, right there. So maybe we'll do that one next. Alright, stay tuned. It's only a CK 1500, so it's a little pickup truck. Stay tuned to the next episode. It's going to be a short video. So thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down below, and I will get back to you ASAP. Bye, everybody.